What's up, guys? I'm back like I never left. In this video we're going to be talking about Hyliion stock. I'm going to cover the ultimate strategy that you can use to maximize your profit. There is a lot of potential that this company is offering right now. If you decide to take advantage of the massive opportunity, guys, I'm going to explain to you in this video different strategies that you can use to triple to double your profits. So make sure, if you're interested to make a lot of money, to stay tuned to this video. And also I'm going to be going over a quick stock market recap and what are the important economic reports that we need to pay attention to in this video also. So make sure you stay tuned. Now let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so as you can see over here, we got Hyliion stock today. It's up 24.16% to the upside, which is $1.53. And after hours, as you can see, it's already broken out of the $50 area. It's trading at $50.81, which is up 3.78%. So that is really phenomenal, guys. So for the past few months, I've been making several videos talking about how this stock's going to be doubling pretty soon. Is it time to get in? We were talking about it as it dipped over here to the downside over here. We were talking about how to use options to maximize your profits, how to pick the right strike prices and things like that. I've been making lots of videos specifically focusing on Hyliion stock and Workhorse stock too, guys. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly also that it is not too late. We're basically just even getting started. So we're not even started yet. So I'm going to explain to you guys in detail. So why do we focus on this specific stock, and why do I continuously talk about the potential in this company, guys? So the main news that can potentially drag the stock price to the upside, make it explode to the upside, is due to they have a potential merger that's going to be happening this month in September, potentially happen in September, mid-September. Of course, things might change, that might come out and postpone it to another time. But of course, they did not say specific thing. They just told us that the possibility is going to be in September. So that is why there's a lot of potential for this company to make a significant move to the upside. So if you recently follow Nikola stock, they did a merger just like this with another company, and the stock price shot up significantly to the upside, close to $90 right after the merger. So there's a lot of people that are expecting the similar kind of move to happen with Hyliion stock too. And also the company is way better compared to Nikola stock, so that's why a lot of people are paying attention to this company. This company has vehicles available on the road right now. They have the hybrid and they have the electric trucks coming out in 2021. So I made several videos explaining to you guys exactly the potential of this company, not only when it was breaking out, but what is trending down. I basically talked about why it's a solid opportunity to buy this company when it initially broke out over here at around $19, and also when it significantly dipped to the downside, and also how to maximize your profit using options. But now I'm going to go over exactly massive strategy that you can use that can double, triple, quadruple your profits if you want to take advantage of using options on Hyliion stock, guys. So before I go talk about that, make sure you smash the like button, guys, so that YouTube can recommend this video and other people can also learn and make massive returns. The other previous video that I made specifically talking about options really only got like 6,000 views, guys. But the other videos, like one of the best videos that I made that had like 30,000 views, really I did not explain about any kind of strategies. I only talked about a few companies. So this is really important company, so a really important video, guys. So make sure you pay attention to exactly what I'm going to be saying in this video, because this can definitely change your life, guys. So as you can see over here, we got Hyliion stock, which recently broke out from the $35 price and made it high of $40. It pulled back. We're talking about we're going to be using the $35 price point area as a support. It tested it a little bit and it went back again, and now it broke out. Now it's sitting at $50. So the important price point that we're going to be using is the $40. So if price continues to stay above the $40, this trend is definitely going to be continuing. So within the next few days, we expect this stock to potentially might pull back a little bit to the downside, or might even continue and go to $60. But the important things that we're going to be looking at is going to be the $40 and the $35 area, which is really going to be significant. I'm going to be explaining to you guys why these price points are significant, guys. So the other important thing that I want to talk to you guys about is you can definitely maximize your profit using options. When you own one option contract, you have an exposure of 100 shares. If you own two contracts, you have an exposure of 200 shares. So these are just contracts. You're not obligated to buy Hyliion stock for 200 shares. for $200 or whatever amount of money that you bought these contracts for. So you're not obligated to own the shares. These are just contracts. So important thing that you want to note is these contracts have expiration dates. The amount of time that you are going to have when you buy these options are really important. So I'm going to explain to you guys also that important factor. Another thing that I'm going to talk about is the maximum loss. I had several questions. I also made a video about it. The max loss when you are using options is going to be the money that you're going to be putting up front. So let's say you allocate $1,000 for these options. If things go bust with Hyliion, that is the maximum that you're going to lose. But also the profit, but it's infinite to the upside. So you can make a lot of money allocating $1,000. That's why this is really important. That's why you need to pay really important attention to the strategies that I'm going to be talking about and how we're going to be able to buy these options, so, and I'm going to be covering these 4 important factors one by one. We're going to be talking about the delta, the gamma, the theta, and also leap options. So I'm going to be explaining to you guys using this specific important terminologies and how you can understand them, how we can use it to our benefit. So we're currently looking at the September 18, 2020 expiration date option contracts for Tortoise Acquisition, ticker symbol SHLL. So right after the merger completes, let's say it completes within 2 weeks, the only thing that's going to change is going to be the ticker symbol, and the ticker symbol is going to be changing HYLN. So there's not going to be nothing changes. Basically, the ticker symbol is going to change once the merger happens, and that's about it. Now, when you look at over here, we're looking at the strike prices. So we got 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So tomorrow, expect that they're going to be adding, the market makers, they are going to be adding an additional 65, 70, 75. So right now, they only had the $260. So they're going to be making additional strike price available to you. So let's say that you want to buy one contract. So when you buy one contract, that gives you an exposure of 100 shares. So let's say you want to buy, then you believe the Hyliion stock is going to go to $55, right? So you have $55 that you believe the stock's going to go. You're going to be paying, you can check the lax price over here, $4.90. So you're going to be paying $4.90, and that is going to give you an exposure of 100 shares. Now, Hyliion stock needs to go above, or Hyliion stock needs to go higher for you to break even, make a profit. So if you bought the 55 strike price over here for $490 by expiration time, which is September 18, 2020, Hyliion stock needs to spike up and go to above $55. That is going to be when you're going to be making profit. So you can calculate how much money that you are going to be making, potentially make, by using this underlying Greek, which is called the delta over here. So what delta is the amount of money you can make or lose when the underlying asset moves $1 up or down. So what that basically means is that, let's say you bought right tomorrow, you buy one contract of the 55 strike price, and Hyliion stock goes to, it's currently trading at $48.97. If it goes up $1, so if it goes to $49, so the stock price went up $1. So you're going to be making, which is the delta over here, 0.52. So you multiply 0.52, you multiply that by 100, that's going to give you $52. So underlying stock goes up at $1 to the upside, you make $52. If it goes down $1, you're going to be losing $52. So that is an important thing you want to look at. So you have great exposure. These one contract is going to give you 100 shares. So let's say you want to buy 100 shares of Hyliion stock right now at this moment, and you want to have that amount of exposure by using just buying the shares. So you have 100, you multiply that by, currently it's trading at 48.97. It closes at right that price point. You need $4,897. But however, if you just buy one option contract, that is going to expire within the next few weeks. You only need to pay $490 to have an exposure of 100 shares. But however, of course, the downside is that you're going to be having risk to it, because these option prices can definitely go down. You can lose the money that you put up if Hyliion stock does not go above $55. So the break-even price is definitely going to be $59.90. $59.90 is going to be the break-even price for this. You basically calculate that by adding the strike price, which is 55, plus the $4.90 over here, it's going to give you $59.90, you know. So that is basically what you can do if you believe Hyliion stock is going to go to the upside. You can buy one option contract that is going to give you 100 shares. So let's say you want to have 1,000 shares of exposure of Hyliion stock, and you believe Hyliion stock is going to be going and be trading above the $55 area by September 18, 2020. So you can come here and you can buy 10 contracts. You multiply that by 490. You're basically going to have 1,000 shares of exposure by putting up $4,900 of this specific contracts. However, that $4,900 is only going to give you 100 shares if you just bought it. We just talked about it like a few minutes ago. So that is the beauty of options. You know, the other important thing that you need to understand is that if you really do not want to risk it, so this is really risky because the expiration date is really approaching significantly. So we got the September 18, 2020 expiration date is within like 2 weeks away now, closer to 2 weeks away. So if the merger doesn't happen or something might happen, the stock price can definitely go to the downside. So that's why you really have to be careful with it. So what you can do is you can definitely be able to stretch the timeline. You can go to October 16, 2020, even though that is going to be a little bit of expensive. You can definitely go about November 2020. You can go to January 2021. So later on, I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what is leap options and how you can use them. But now let's just focus on the expiration date of 18 September 20. So another thing that you can do is you can buy the deep in the money option contracts. So as you can see over here, the delta over here is relatively getting higher and higher as you go deep in the money. So deep in the money basically means is that these contracts have both intrinsic and extrinsic value. So what that basically means is that, as you can see over here, we got the $60 strike price over here. It's really relatively cheaper compared to the $30 over here, which is going for $1,840. You always have to multiply this to get the amount of money that you need to pay. You multiply it by 100, but the $60 is only going for $390. So what is the main difference? This only has extrinsic value. So extrinsic value is just going to be measuring the amount of time that you have to expiration. So it only has extrinsic value, the time value of this option contract. So as that price, as time passes by, you know, if the Hyliion stock doesn't move up, this option contract is going to slowly decay and go to zero. And that is going to be measured by theta over here. So theta is going to be a Greek that's used to measure time decay. So these option contracts that are out of the money, they only have extrinsic value. But however, when option contracts, when they go in the money, now they both have intrinsic value, which basically means that now you have the right but not the obligation to exercise it. So you're basically in profit right now. You can sell these options when they go in the money. You can sell them right away and then you'll be able to make a profit, or you can choose to exercise it, which is going to be a little bit of advanced, and you need more money to exercise your options if you want, but I'm not going to go over in detail to talk about that. But you can also choose to exercise it, but you can definitely sell your option contracts to making your profit. So an important thing that I want to talk to you guys about is, as you go deeper in the money, if you notice, the delta is going to be increasing significantly. So the best delta is going to be 1. As I mentioned, you know, delta is the measure of money, the amount of money that you're probably going to be making when the underlying asset goes up $1, and if it goes down also, you're going to be losing that same amount. So if Hyliion stock tomorrow goes $1 to the upside, and then you bought this $30 strike price, you're going to be making, if the stock goes $1 to the upside, you're going to be making $98 if you have one contract. And if Hyliion stock goes to $5, makes it $5 move to the upside, you're going to be making $490 if you have one contract over here, which is the $30 strike price over here. So if you have that one contract that you bought for $1,840, and if Hyliion stock tomorrow goes $5 to the upside from $48.97 to above close to $53, you're going to be making $490, you know. So that is good. So the more the delta, the value that is out over here, the better also. However, the same can go bad if the stock price goes to the downside. So if Hyliion stock pulls back 5 points to the downside, you're also going to be losing $490. So that is the implication. That is the important thing that you need to understand too. But since we believe that the stock price is going to go up significantly to the upside within the next few weeks and the next few months, we can be able to position ourselves to take advantage of these deep in the money options. So later on when I talk about the leap options, I'm going to cover it. But if you're somebody that wants to get involved in it in the short term by using these close to the money expiration date options, you can definitely be able to do that. So let's say that you want to buy like 2 contracts, like you want to have $200 exposure. Let's say your budget right now, let's say you have $3,000 in your account. You know, if you want to allocate $3,000, what is the ideal point that you want to get? What option price that you want to get? What is the ultimate, you know, strike price and option price that you want to buy to maximize your profit? So I'm going to explain to you guys in detail. So if you have $3,000 right now, if you don't have any exposure to Hyliion stock, you don't own any shares, you don't want to do anything with it, you just heard about the company and you want to buy this company, and you have $3,000, you can buy the shares. That's the first option. So you divide that by $48. It's going for per share 97. You can buy 61 shares. So you're going to have an exposure of 61 shares. However, for $3,000, if you have $3,000, you can have a lot of exposure within this underlying asset. So let's say over here, you decide to pick this $60 strike price, which is super bullish. We're expecting the Hyliion stock to break out. The merger is going to be announced before September 18, if we believe that, right? If we believe that. So we can be able to spend $390. So we have $3,000 divided by, you have the last price that this option contract sold for was 3.90. So we're going to divide by 3. We're going to multiply by 3. We're going to divide by 390. That is going to give us 7 contracts, close to 7 contracts. And 7 contracts, as I mentioned, 1 contract is giving us an exposure to 100 shares. The 7 contracts going to give us an exposure of 700 shares. And if Hyliion stock goes up tomorrow 5 points, let's see how much money that you're going to make. So you bought the 60 strike price, and you go over here to the delta, we got 0.43. You always have to multiply that by 100 to see the dollar amount. So if it goes $1, you're going to be making 43. So if it goes tomorrow $5 to the upside, you got what? $215 you're going to be making. Since you have since we bought 7 contracts and we have an exposure of 700 shares, we multiply that by 7. So we're going to be making $1,505 if Hyliion stock goes $5 to the upside tomorrow, and we have 7 contracts of this option contract. So that is going to be how we're going to be calculating. So let's say Hyliion stock, breaks out, and before September 18, 2020, within the next few weeks, let's say it goes to like crazy, it goes to $90, right? So currently we have 48 minus $90. Okay, so let's say it moves $42. So we have the delta over here, which is going to be 0.43. So we multiply that by 100, it's going to give us 43. And now we multiply that by, if it goes to $90, you're going to be the amount of share move that is 42. That is 1,806. That is for 1 contract, right? That is if you own only 1 contract. But since we have 7 contracts, you're going to be making $12,642. So that is a lot. That is a lot of money, guys. So that is how you're going to be having super exposure by using the specific options. Now let's talk about if you want to play safe and really have a really solid exposure and have super solid delta. You can buy the deep in the money options right now for the September 18, 20 strike price over here. So you can buy the deep in the money ones, so the deltas are really good. So let's say you pick we talked about, these are important points that I'm going to be mentioning. over here, so this is the support area that we're going to be talking about, is going to be $34. So let's pick an option contract that is right at the support area. So I'm going to be picking, it's closer, it's 35. So I'm going to be using the $35 strike price. So that is going for 1441. So that basically means $1,441 that you're going to be able to buy one contract. So let's say that you have, of course, $3,000, right? So you divide $3,000 divided by 1,441. You can buy two contracts. You can buy two contracts, and if the two contracts that you bought, and if Hyliion stock goes to $90, you're going to be making 0.9. This is the delta over here. You multiply that by 100, of course, to get the dollar amount. You got $90, and it goes to 42, right? 42 points. If it goes to $90, that's like a 42-point move to the upside, which is 3780. You multiply that, since you have two contracts, you multiply that by 2. So you made $7,560. So that is a lot. So if you just bought, 65 shares by the $3,000 that you own, you're only going to be making, if Hyliion stock goes, so 42 times 61, you'll only be making $2,562 just by owning those shares. But by owning these option contracts, you can really make $7,000 if you buy the $35 strike price and you spend your $3,000 wisely. So you can make at least 300% x your money if you use the option contracts. And so that is going to be the beauty of using these option contracts. But now let's talk about a safer way. This is super risky. Now, this is like risky because the options contracts are going to be expiring September 18, 2020, which is in 2 weeks. So all of these, the delta, and also another important thing that I want to talk about is the gamma. So the gamma, as we get edged closer to expiration date, is going to be higher. So gamma basically is going to determine the rate of change of delta. So that is going to really affect that when we're edging closer to expiration date. So if you want to take advantage of delta, you want to really use options that are going to be expired. Let's say October 16, right? October 16, 20. These option contracts are relatively going to be expensive because they have more intrinsic, and the money ones more have intrinsic and extrinsic value, and the out of the money options have more extrinsic value because they have more time. That's why they're expensive. So now I'm going to cover exactly what are leap options and how you can maximize your profit. So right now, leap options are like the safer way to go for this company, since the stock price really shot up like to $48. But by 2021, September 2021, next year, this company, that's like after the merger and things like that, if you believe the company is super solid, you can buy you some leap options and have the same exposure of owning 100 shares. Depending upon how many contracts that you buy, you're still going to have exposure on this specific company. So now let's talk about some leap options. So I'm going to go over to 17/20/21. So September 17, 2021. As you can see over here, these are the option prices that are available. So they're really not that much. The delta, as you can see over here, they're relatively good. 0.71, 0.76, 0.081. So they're relatively good. But now let's calculate exactly how much money that you can spend to have exposure and really have really solid exposure within this company. So as you can see over here, the one contract is going for 17. If you want to buy the 45 or the $40 contract over here, which is right at the support area over here, which is right at the support area that we're going to be using, which is the $40, you're going to be using that strike price for this specific example. So we're going to be using the $40. So we're going to be using leap options. So I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what is the profit, what is the profit potential, etc. when using leap options. So we got $40, 40 strike price. The delta is 0.76. The amount of money that's required to pay to get involved in this is going to be 1,510. You have 1,510. You can buy one contract, but since we have $3,000, I think we were able to make to get involved in this trade. I think we're only going to have to, because if we multiply that by 2, it's not going to be enough for us to, let's say we get filled, you know, let's just theoretically say we have $3,020. So we have 2 of these contracts, the leap options, you know. So the delta for this company, the theta, is going to be super low, since we are way, like, these contracts are going to expire a lot of time. We have a lot of times going to be minus 0.02, and the gamma, the rate of change of delta, is also 0.01. So that is really small too. So the other important thing that we also need to do before we calculate these specific things is we have 2 contracts, and let's say Hyliion stock goes to $90 by 2021. So we got 40 times, yeah, so let's say it goes to $42. So let's do the math. So we got 0.76 by 100, you get 76. That's the amount of money you make when Hyliion stock goes $1. So let's say it goes to $90. So it's currently trading at 48, and you add, you know, 42 to that you're gonna get $90. So let's say by 2020, when the stock price goes to $90, and you multiply that by what? 42. That's, since we have 2 options, we're also gonna be multiplying this by 2. So we made $6,384. So that is going to be the profit that we're going to be making if Hyliion stock goes to $90. So that is going to be it. And also, now let's say that you just bought the option contracts, I mean the share of the price of Hyliion stock right now at this specific point in time, which is going to be at 48. You're only going to have an exposure of 61 shares, right? 61 shares. Let's just do the math again. 3,000 divided by 48. $3,000 divided by 48. 62. So you got 62 multiplied by 42. You're only going to be making $2,604. But if you have the options of the $40 strike price, you're going to be making $6,000. So that is the difference of using leap options, guys. So you multiply that by 100, 76, it goes to 42. I mean, if Hyliion stock goes to $90, the share amount of difference is 42. Since you have 2 contracts, look at that, $6,000 compared to $2,000. So this is how you exponentially make a lot of money using leap options, guys. So you look at the delta, you look at the gamma, you look at the theta. So tomorrow you can make your decision, and if you want to get involved in these companies, you can pick the leap options, which is relatively safer way. And if you have $3,000, you can, you know, buy 2 contracts at the 40, which is relatively closer to the resistance price point over here, with the support area we have over here, which is 40. And if you want to risk it, I talked about, if you want to be somebody that's risking, you want to have a home run, you can allocate $3,000 and you can buy the $60, and that is going to give you a lot of exposure. We've done the math, so that is going to give you a lot of exposure. You can make a lot of money. The same goes to all of the calculations that you're going to be doing. It's going to be the 60, you know, the 20, November 20, you know, the 18. You're going to do the same calculations. The more far the money, the more time that you have. The more time that you have, like, the better. So you can supersize and maximize your profit to the upside. So that is going to be it. If you have any questions, any comments, you know, make sure you drop in the comment section below. So if you also want to learn 101, I can definitely teach you this. I've been doing it for a few people and I'm really enjoying it because I'm able to help them. We talk and they ask me questions. I'm able to show them exactly, explain to them in detail. So if you're interested about that, you can email me, or you can just join the Discord chat and send me an inbox there, or you can become, you know, a Patreon there too, so you can be able to ask me exactly how to maximize your profits using options in detail. So definitely hit up those links, guys, if you need in-depth help, because this thing might be a little bit complicated, but that's just exactly how in this video explains to you guys exactly how you can do it yourself. But if you want to use advanced strategies that I personally use, you can ask me about it and I can show you guys. And I also have a Patreon only account that I'm trading over there, where I'm daily, where I record my trades live, where I record my recap trades live, and I post when I get in a trade, and I do recaps every single after I close my position. And that is going to be how you can be able to learn if you really want to get involved in options. And last year, I made 1,000% return trading options. So if you want to do the same thing, if you want to learn more about options, there's a lot of money to be made with options, but of course there's going to be risk associated with it too. So you need somebody that really wants to show you how to do it properly, guys. So hit those links up, guys. And also, if you want to use this platform, this is Webull, you can check out the link in the description box below too. But now let's talk about exactly what happened to Workhorse stock today. Workhorse stock shot up 11.26% to the upside. Now it's trading at $20.15. And you can definitely talked about it yesterday that the stock is edging to break out to the upside because they had a game changer contract. They have a game changer arrangement with another company, Hitachi, that's going to help them with production and etc. So that is phenomenal, guys. And they also announced that there are going to be September 22 financial conference scheduled. So that is fantastic. So that's exactly how this financial conference is going to affect the stock price. But the stock definitely reacted positively, and it's really trending to the upside. So that is phenomenal, guys. So if you're making solid profits, that is fantastic. So now let's talk about exactly what happened to the stock market today. So as you can see over here, we had a phenomenal day, guys. We got Apple stock just going up to the upside, Microsoft, Google, Netflix, Walmart. We got basic material sector that is doing phenomenal. It's only the healthcare sectors that are dragging us the downside a little bit, but we had a super solid close that we potentially expect the stock, the stock market to potentially gap up to the upside. So there's been an issue with Robinhood today. I was about to place a trade and we recorded live for the Patreon members, but Robinhood was just not filling my orders, and Robinhood was down. So that was a slight disappointment. Robinhood really having issues yesterday and today too, and that really sucks. So that's pretty bad. So let's talk about exactly what is the important economic reports that could potentially affect this stock market for tomorrow, guys. So for September 2nd at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got the Adp Employment Reports. This is going to be for August. The previous was 167,000. At 10 a.m. we got the factory orders. This is going to be for the month of July. The previous was 6.2%, and the median forecast is 6.2%. And those are the main two economic reports, guys. So that's going to be it this video, guys. Make sure you have a really solid plan before you get involved in it, and make sure you watch this video again and again if you want to understand how to calculate your profits, how to get involved in it, and what is the maximum risk, what's the maximum loss. So in this video, I explained to you guys in detail how you can get involved in these option contracts. So this is the ultimate strategy that you can use to maximize by buying options. So later on, some other time, I'm going to explain to you guys another option strategy that you can use also. That is going to significantly help you make a lot of money too, guys. So stay tuned for that other video, guys. If you have any questions, any comments, make sure to drop in the comment section below, guys. Make sure you check out those links in the description box below if you want to join the Patreon page. Of course, you want to do some coaching, and if you want to follow my trades that I do specifically for options, you can definitely join the Discord chat too over there. And also, if you want to sign up for Webull, there's going to be a link available in the description box below. Deposit $100, you get 2 free stocks. And that's about it for this video, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Let's get it for tomorrow. Peace out.